and you are sitting with only queen high.
1.7.
So Gus Hansen now has a decision to make. What's going on in his mind right now?
He could merely call the 400,000 bet from Andrew Black, but that middle pair with a mediocre kicker might feel vulnerable. I think it's raise or fold for Gus Hansen.
I'm all in.
And he's going all in. And that's it. Andrew Black will just fold his tent right here.
That was a brave play by Gus Hansen, and it paid huge dividends.
Very good pot for Gus Hansen, one of the best players in the world. For Andy Black, however, he just gave back quite a lot of what he had just won on the previous hand.
Yeah, 600,000 chips for Jimmy Fricke is pocket change. For Andrew Black, that's a huge proportion of his stack.
Action starts this hand with Gus Hansen, a queen 5, which he will throw away. And Fricke looking at an ace-queen. Announces a raise to 350.
Uh-oh.
I'm all in.
Call.
Andrew Black has picked a terrible time to make a stand. His king-queen is dominated by Fricke's ace-queen. Fricke a 3-1 favorite to eliminate Andrew Black.
Tournament life on the line for Andy.
Come on. This is a good time to get lucky.
And he will need to get lucky. He got unlucky getting in the situation. It's unlikely to see two such big hands three-handed.
Here's the flop, 3-7-7, no help to Andy Black.
Looking for a lonely king.
We come to the turn. It is a 9, no king there.
Andrew Black is down to 3 outs, or he will be eliminated in third place.
This would be a really good time.
This is the only time left.
Captain America.
So for Andy Black, after 5 days, it's all come down to this. He needs one of the remaining 3 kings in the deck to stay alive in this tournament. He did not get it. Andrew Black is gone. Black will finish in third place. He'll take home 700,000 Australian. That's about 560,000 US dollars. He played well. It was his best ever finish in a $10,000 buy-in event. Jimmy Fricke continues to put some distance between himself and the only remaining player. We'll see if Gus Hansen can overcome that big chip disparity. We're heads up in Melbourne as the young gun takes on the savvy pro for more than $1 million. We're coming back. We are in Melbourne, Australia, and after the elimination of Andrew Black, we are now down to heads up. Here were Black's thoughts on his performance.
I'm relatively happy with my play at the final table. I just went card dead when it went three-handed, so yeah, I mean, maybe I could have done this and that different, but I'm pretty happy.
Jimmy Fricke with a huge chip lead, but not insurmountable. If Gus Hansen can double through right now, he'll be virtually even.
Yeah, and I think despite the chip disparity, it is an interesting matchup as we get down to heads-up play between Fricke and Hansen.
Man, I would love to do something crazy.
Gus Hansen, he probably intimidates me a lot less than Patrick Antonius. If he had made the final table, I probably would have played a little bit intimidated against him.
Jimmy Fricke, he's a young, aggressive player, but it seems like he knows what he's doing.
Eventually, I'm going to have to do some things with Gus, but all I need to do is try to get in his head and figure out what he's thinking. I mean, I just need to play my game and stay smart and all that.
He's young, he's aggressive, and that's definitely one of the things you need to do to win these poker tournaments. Be aggressive, put pressure on people.
I know it's incorrect to say, like, I know Gus Hansen's game from TV, but I mean, I know his general style of play. I know what I should do against people who play like that.
I can handle that. I don't mind too much. I believe in my own game, so I'm all right.
Jimmy Fricke claims to have cracked the Gus Hansen code. If that's true, we need to sign him up for the CIA pronto.
So we begin heads-up play. Jack 6 for Hansen. He will make a call.
Check.
Now Fricke, 8 deuce suited, will check. Incidentally, the blind's still 50 and 100, but there is no ante in heads-up play. We go to the flop. King deuce 10. Little pair for Fricke. He'll check.
Unusual because making any sort of pair heads up normally is worth a bet. Gus Hansen senses weakness and takes a stab at the pot.
100,000 to bet, and Fricke calls. To the turn, a 6, so Hansen is paired. Fricky checks.
Originally, Gus Hansen bet with nothing. Now he's made a pair. He's going to continue to fire.
200,000 to bet from Gus Hansen, and Fricky will lay it down. So Gus Hansen draws first blood in head-to-head competition with the youngster Jimmy Fricky.
It looks to me, Barry, that both these guys are interested in playing small ball poker to begin.
This is the friends and family area, and that's Eric and Tina Sorensen. They are the brother-in-law and sister of Gus Hansen, and you can see some of Jimmy Fricky's friends hanging out as well.
I wonder if they sense, as I do, that Jimmy Fricky's demeanor has changed just a little bit since it's gotten to heads-up play. Seems to be a little less comfortable.
Gus Hansen now with an ace little.
And although that kicker is negligible, any ace heads-up is worth a raise.
And Gus will raise to 300,000.
300,000 total.
Fricky a king-queen.
Another big hand heads up, but he's just calling. Earlier, we saw him re-raise with hands like this.
Here is the flop. 7 ace king on the flop. Hansen is caught top pair.
Yeah, this could be disastrous for Jimmy Fricky. Fricky has made middle pair. He's connected. Gus Hansen has the boss hand and will continue to push the action. When Fricky checked, I think he's planning on check raising.
350,000 to bet from Gus Hansen into Fricky. And Fricky's got to be thinking, I'm in pretty good shape here. He will call.
And I believe Fricky thinks he is setting a trap.
To the turn, it's an 8 of clubs.
Check.
Check from Fricky. And now Gus Hansen. Hansen once again kind of mulling over how he wants to play this. He knows he's got a good hand.
All in.
And he's going all in.
And the fact that Fricky has not instantly called leads me to believe that perhaps he wasn't setting a trap. He was going to try to make some sort of play, but Gus has sort of taken the play away from him, and now he's confused.
3,120,000 is what it will cost.
3.1.
And for Jimmy Fricky, I think it's pretty much an either-or kind of question. Either Gus has an ace or he doesn't. And based on that judgment, he will decide his next course of action.
I call.
And he calls. And that was an uncertain call, it strikes me.
Damn.
So Fricky leaping to his feet.
And Gus Hansen is in prime position to get right back in this tournament. Nearly a 9-1 favorite going to the river. Fricky is looking for a king or a queen.
Did not happen, and Gus Hansen is doubled up. And that's the Gus Hansen rooting section. They're loving it. And here's a guy with dismay on his face for maybe the first time in this tournament.
And Barry, if I'm not mistaken, we have a new chip leader.
And we'll see if young Jimmy Fricky can recover after allowing Gus to get right back in the match. Welcome back to the Crown Casino. Aside from playing in the main event, one of the